Not alone. I know I've been gone for a minute. Told y'all, scheduling, I'm gonna do my best. But had to take some time for myself because I don't just do this job. I see clients during the day and sometimes at night. And more recently, on my days off, sometimes I'll let them come on through if they need to. I don't mind most of the time. But sometimes being an I don't mind ass person, like I be sometimes, will wear you the hell out. On top of just energetic shifts and things of this nature. So like there are some things that don't need to be like timed out on, eased into whenever I can do it, okay? And I hope y'all forgive me. And but again, as from the beginning, I've always said I am cultivating information to be able to be shared with you, but I'm not cultivating codependence. Okay, it's one of those things that I'm steering clear from for two reasons: for my own benefit, and for yours too, because there's a lot of spiritualists out there. Not that I'm a spiritualist. I mean that's one aspect of things, but there's a lot of people who consider themselves spiritualists or light workers out there doing things to make people codependent on them. And I ain't gonna necessarily knock their hustle all the way, but there's some things I am not in a vibration alignment with, and that is cultivating codependency between myself and those who watch me. Do I want you to be entertained? Absolutely. Do I want you to be educated? Absolutely. Do I want you to feel loved? Absolutely. But codependency? I'm good on that. Okay? So I hope you can see me clearly. This light, I'm still trying to find the perfect adjustment for my skin tone because I have various tones in my skin. Let me see if this can adjust it just a little bit more. Nope, this is where we stand. So I'm gonna have some kind of tech person do some more with that. So if it's too bright on y'all, just forgive me. Okay? Um, so today, that's one of the things I'd like to talk to you about. Just so you guys know, the lunar energy is in Leo again, so it's time to be cute. Whenever the lunar energy is in Leo, in any degree, people tend, and you can start tracking this for yourselves. You don't necessarily need a tracker per se, but you can start tracking how you feel during certain cycles of the moon. So let's say for instance today the moon is waxing, a waxing gibbous in Leo. How do I feel when the moon is waxing? You might not have to put the gibbous part on there, but see how you're feeling about yourself when the moon is in the constellation of Leo, especially when it's waxing, because it's a different energy, slight different energy than waxing and waning. Waning things slow down a little bit. So in waxing Leo, you're more likely to feel more apt to be social and wanting to be cute. It's very similar to Libra waxing energy, at least to me in my opinion. And to get to know these types of things for yourself, start tracking it. I've always been a firm believer of don't take my word for it. Do things and investigate things yourself. We stopped doing that when we were little kids. A lot of us. I know I didn't. I was always curious and I remain curious, and I love that about me. You all can do the same. Stay curious about everything. There are more things under this sun and moon than you've been taught about. And it's okay to learn them now. It's part of why I do what I do. Because you can start to get used to the energies that swirl around you that you don't see, what some call ether. So that you can be more aligned with your true self, happiness, joy, peace, at the very least, peace and serenity. Okay? Alright. Now, oh, here he go. My dog. He starts up with his stuff, and I'm trying really hard to train him out of it when he's not getting attention. But it's a work in progress. Anyway, so one of the things I'd like to teach you about that nature of codependency is to educate you a little bit about how tarot works, astrology works. But let's start from the aspect of tarot. Tarot readers, anyone that's worth a grain of salt, they are more than what you see. So in a way, I'm giving you education so to enlighten you about respecting these people in every way you can possibly respect these people. And understand it's not just what you see on the surface. Now, I'm talking about the ones with the grain of salt. I'm not talking about these young ladies and men who are out here understanding and reading the meanings of cards and then thinking that they can string sentences together based on the meanings of just some cards to give you an outcome. But mostly they're just patting your ego, telling you what you want to hear, using key phrases and psychological tricks on you to get you hooked to their channel. I'm not talking about these people. Them people get on my damn nerves because they're pissing and shitting on something that I consider to be a privilege. It's no different than if you went to the doctor and somebody with a lab coat comes up in there, but all they, not shitting on CNAs or anything like that, but you expected a doctor, but that person come in there with that lab coat as a CNA and they're examining you the way a doctor would, you probably have some fucking questions. That's how I feel about them. So, now, I'm talking about the ones who actually have some type of intuitive gifts, as well as the ability to take the messages that are pinged from looking at those cards and then deliver to you information that is actually resonating and in some way comes to pass for a large audience. Those people know what they're doing. And when I say respect them, I don't mean call them yes ma'am and yes sir. No. There are two levels of respect I'm talking about. One, respect the fact that these people are very skilled and they're also at least partly human. Okay? And so not all have good intentions towards you. So have discernment. And if they don't have good intentions towards you and it's about them having clout and money, then surprise, you're not going to get anything good for your self-edification from what the hell they're doing. However, you're going to be addicted to their channel. Okay? Because they're skilled, what I call real magicians, skilled magicians. Magicians of the mind are the most skilled. They know exactly which psychological phrases to drop on you to make you come back over and over and over again and make you feel like it's personal to you. This is mental manipulation. And you respect that because that's like a weapon. That I understand. And just for those who haven't heard or don't know, I do have a degree in psychology and a master's in clinical mental health, so I happen to know a thing or two about a thing or two in this particular area, okay? Okay. I've also studied mystical arts, tarot, esoteric knowledge since I was a child. So you put those two levels of education together and voila, I can give you some things to aid and assist you on any spiritual journey you'd like to go on in this particular area. Okay? If you notice, if you go back and look at previous readings that I've done with tarot, you will see I do general messages, but I'm not doing all the extra shit that some of them are out here doing. Okay? And I'm not knocking their hustle, but it is a hustle. Okay? Anybody who's trying to help you, guide you to the next stage in your spiritual journey, if you're going through difficulties, is not going to give you gossip and bullshit. Now, does sometimes some stuff come up that is bullshit? Yeah, sometimes that comes up, but they're not going to deliver it to you in a way that is like eating fast food. You feel me? And if anything, they're going to put some information in there to help you and guide you along your way. Even if you hear a reader talk about a relationship or here or there, they're still going to tell you, but in some way, walk in alignment with yourself. Give you advisement on it and about it. Excuse me, my sinuses and my nose always itch when I do this. Now, another reason why I say to respect this other side is people who may not be here for your highest good. And I'm talking about not just on YouTube, not just on other social media, in real life, because everybody buying decks now, so y'all need to be careful. Okay? Somebody walking around with a gun on their waist, you're more likely to watch that person and be wary and leery of that person than someone who is not. Even if they're acting quite normal. I need y'all to start seeing these tarot readers and people like this in that way. Because if someone can actually get a hold of you emotionally, spiritually, mentally, by giving you something you actually desire and you want, that's what the devil energy, right? And then you become in some way addicted and attached to that, as opposed to the outcome of self-healing and self-worth. Okay? Now, the other side, to respect. This is like the higher vibration. A lot of them who are out here teaching you how to get into alignment with what you really want, or also giving you information to help you through circumstance to circumstance to circumstance, as opposed to giving you fast food. These people have studied, and then they've been through transformations of the mental, spiritual, and physical. They're not just spreading out cards and getting meanings based on definitions. They're literally getting messages from every vibration around them. Their brain has been evolved to a state in which, when you look at those cards, it's almost like a trigger. Positive, negative, something can trigger a memory, nostalgia, whatever. When they see that lineup of cards, their brain gets triggered in a whole bunch of different scenarios that they either experience through this reality or dreams will come up in their mind. And then they have to go through and snap with their brain in like split second. Think of the probability that is highest and most likely. And if a person can do that and be accurate more times than inaccurate, that person is quite skilled. You do well to respect the art of this, because it is in itself a science and an art. Okay? They understand things on a different level than most people, and have trained themselves in their brain to be able to do this over time. And that's why the readings you'll get from a person who is actually skilled at this will be accurate, because they're allowing natural random assignment to trigger information in their mind, and they're doing stats, literal doing stats in their head by the second. Think about what's the most likely thing this random assignment of cards is saying to me about this circumstance. To be accurate on something like that, even 50% of the time, would be a miracle for a normal person. These are not normal people. And I'd like to advise the collective at this particular point to start respecting this art. Okay? I'd appreciate it. And you say, oh, this is fake and that is fake. A lot of things are made up, and a lot of things are not believed until they're proven. But nobody, has taken the time to truly, really study and understand what this is. But it's a growing, popular thing that's happening. It would be very beneficial if the collective and people who govern things and maybe have some organization of things would take some looks at this. See it for the art and science that it is. And put a shelter for those who are mentally ill, those who are children and young, and to make sure that these scammers who are scamming out there get exactly what they deserve, karmically, of course, by having some type of barrier. Now, do I want a system? Not necessarily, but sometimes systems work. If you have to challenge somebody to be able to at least show you that they know what they're doing, then maybe, just maybe, they wouldn't be allowed to take advantage of those who are unable to take care of themselves. Because there's terror readers out there taking advantage of those who are unable to take care of themselves, and the vulnerable. And I consider the vulnerable to be the mentally ill, or the young, or even the elderly. They shouldn't be allowed to do that. At least that's just my little two-piece. Hope this has been informative. Next video is going to be a reading, a general reading, and some more information about the Leo moon. All right, y'all. You're loved.